Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Upper Tier podcast. It is Monday. It's the Monday mashup, our last kind of structured show before the international break. We got some really good shows coming up this week for you, though, to fill that void and stuff like that as well. So if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video, we would really appreciate that. Mark is going to join us shortly. He's just a little bit delayed, so hopefully he has time to jump on. But before we start the show, of course, a legend of Irish sport, and especially Irish sport presenting, sadly passed away over the weekend with the loss of Michael Lister. Anyone in Ireland would know, if you've watched the Sunday game or you're involved in GAA or countless other sports he's been heavily involved in down through the years with RTE and stuff like that and all. An absolute pillar of Irish sports. But yeah, sadly passed away, So RIP Michael Lister. And our thoughts and prayers, of course, go out to Michael's family and friends and probably the greater GAA community and stuff like that as well, who he was very close to and stuff like that, and all his colleagues and RTE and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, another kind of legend up there with Bill and the boys and stuff like that. Big up, Will. How are you, pal? Hope you are good. Marky should be on soon, hopefully with a bit of luck. So we are going to go through tonight. We're going to take a look back at the League of Ireland, obviously Division 1 and the Premier League. We're going to go through the Premier League results over the weekend as well. We'll have a chat about the Carabao Cup. And we're also going to do a little preview for the qualifier on Thursday coming up. A massive game. Probably one of the most important games in Irish football over the last, say, 10, 12 years maybe. Huge game coming up to beat Czechia and then go on then and hopefully beat either Denmark or North Macedonia. Whoever gets through in the Aviva would be absolutely... Imagine the lift in the country if we made it to the World Cup. Would be unbelievable. We're talking that 88, 90s feel again, aren't we, in the country? It was absolutely stellar at the time. I remember just the celebrations, the good feel factor around the place, what it did for the economy and everything else. And it just really uplifted the country that was in a kind of a very, very dark place at the time. So, so hopefully fingers crossed. So if you look this week anyway, we have obviously the Monday mashup tonight. Wednesday, we've got Pro Wrestling Weekly. We're going to be talking a couple of different topics on that. One of the main topics we're going to be talking about is we're going to be discussing how Tony Khan had placed a bid to buy WWE back in 2023, 6.9 billion. Failed in buying it, but we're going to be asking the question, what if he had have bought WWE? What would the landscape of pro wrestling look like? So that'll be a good conversation on Wednesday night. We'll obviously review Raw as well and, of course, continue our road to WrestleMania. And we're also going to be talking about, Keith raised the topic, Hall of Fame as well. Who's in the Hall of Fame now that possibly doesn't belong in there? And who would we like to see going into the Hall of Fame that hasn't gone in there yet? Big up, Baz. Hope you're good, brother. Big shout out to Baz. Baz's birthday tomorrow, folks, as well. So if you want to light up the chat with some birthday wishes for Baz, feel free to do so as well, because we're not on tomorrow night. So happy birthday to Baz. Early birthday. 21 again tomorrow, huh? Fair play, bro. Right. So we kick it off, I suppose, with the Carabao Cup final. Man City champions again as well. Carabao Cup champions again. So while I thought Arsenal might have had enough yesterday to get it done, and I kind of felt that maybe going into the game with the way the season had gone, it would be hard to bet against Arsenal. But it goes to show you that, like, winning is a habit and winning is a mentality, and understanding the magnitude of walking onto that hallowed turf at Wembley and holding your nerve and being able to keep it together and be able to harness that adrenaline. 90-odd thousand fans, to be able to harness that adrenaline to work with you and not against you. And it really was a strange game, really, when you look at it. We did do a watch-along for it. The first half was such a cagey chess game. Very, very strange. But the second half was just very, very strange. I really did think at halftime Arteta might kind of change a couple of things, because City had grown into the game at that stage and were very, very strong coming out at halftime. And again, there was certain areas, obviously, Hincapié on a booking and stuff like that was struggling throughout the day, trying to contain Semenyo. And it was tough. And obviously Doku on the other side was just tearing up against Ben White and stuff like that. And especially once Nico O'Reilly started linking up with Doku. First 15 minutes or so was a little bit of a struggle. Doku was a little bit isolated. Arsenal were getting a lot of play. But once Nico O'Reilly actually realised that his overlapping runs and his link up play with Doku and that he could do it Doku and he could push forward, their link up play yesterday was absolutely sensational, and it just opened up Arsenal. And then the two quick fire goals, obviously the howler from Kepa wasn't great, and we kind of know that there's a kind of there could be potentially a howler in this guy, compared to David Raya. Don't know what people's thoughts are. Let me know in the chat as well. There was an awful lot of talk after the game, and of course hindsight's a great thing. Should you be playing your number one goalkeeper, or should you be sticking with the goalkeeper that's played throughout that tournament? Now, I know as a Liverpool fan, excuse me, I know as a Liverpool fan, we stuck with Quivine, and it bared fruit for us. In fairness, a lot of the times Quivine was the guy in those games on penalty shootouts and stuff like that. How could we forget Kepa sending the penalty into orbit and Quivine scoring the win? I remember when it went that far. But let me know your thoughts on that in the chat as well. I know hindsight's a great thing, and everyone could say, "Oh yeah, Raya wouldn't make that mistake." That's fine, and hindsight's a great thing, but who knows? I have to talk about the boy Trafford as well, who was absolutely sensational yesterday. That triple save right at the start of the game. Havertz really should be scoring there, only for that triple save was absolutely phenomenal from the lad. And that was kind of the difference. That triple save kind of felt like it gave City a little bit of impetus and stuff like that as well, But certainly a second half, Arsenal looked absolutely shell-shocked. Even prior to the goal, City were in such control of the game. Rodri in the middle of the park and all. The boy Núñez was exceptional at right back. I thought Cherky was just a different animal. Haaland, and I mean, the funny thing about it is Haaland once again didn't show up in the final. Once again didn't show up. Literally did nothing on the day. Had a kind of a half-effort header with Saliba blocking him at the back post, and the ball that was shot in from the right-hand side as well, I think from Semenyo, that he flashed across was Semenyo or Bernardo Silva, I can't remember, and he just missed the header by millimeters, which probably would have hit the back of the net. But other than that, I don't know what he did. And I did say in the first half as well, I thought the likes of Cherky and Haaland and all, they were dropping so deep to get involved in the play because Arsenal had penned Man City back so far, found it so difficult to get out. That's kind of first 15 minutes or whatever. But after that, once they started playing through that and stuff like that, it kind of opened up. I thought Saliba on the day, I thought he was so good against Haaland. He really shepherded him and he bullied him and he harried him and harassed him, really, you know what I mean? And when you do that to Haaland, we know he loses kind of interest and he drifts out of games. But 2 goals from Nico O'Reilly. What a player O'Reilly is. I mean, young lad with such experience on his shoulders, really, for such a young age, playing like he's been at Wembley a million times. And that was really the difference. That was the conundrum. The conundrum would be, could Arsenal hold it together, harness the nerves and the adrenaline and use it to push forward and get over the line and get that first piece of silverware in the cabinet in nearly 6 years? Or would the telltale signs of a Man City side who, for them, at this stage, a trip to Wembley is like any other game on a Sunday, really Super Sunday. They just have that kind of nerve. They have the ability. They have the experience. They have the nous. They have the manager that knows, and the assistant, our old ex-assistant, Pep Linders. They have that experience there to talk to those guys in the dressing room, to make them understand, to pull it together, to change it up, to move things around, all that kind of stuff. And I just thought Arsenal, literally second half, yes, they were just anonymous. I thought they were trying to play balls over the top and long balls and all, just to trying to get out because Man City had them so suffocated. To the point where I think it absolutely sapped them of their energy and they just looked absolutely drained. I thought City were just the last, say, 15, 20 minutes just time with them, really, Victor Yerkes again, couple of runs and stuff like that, trying to do things and all, but just really, really struggled. Havertz, again, bar those opportunities right at the start with the triple save, not a whole lot. Madueke came on, couldn't even control the ball. Martinelli came on, really didn't offer a huge amount. They just really didn't. Even when he rolled the dice on it, it really didn't uplift it in any way. Just Man City went back suffocating again. And it's a difficult one, I know, because I've been there as a Liverpool fan when you're up against City and stuff like that. It's really, really tough and mentally taxing. And it's trying to get over the line and get that first one there. We know Arsenal literally have one hand on the Premier League trophy at this stage. But you wonder, could that mental block come back to haunt them again? Is there a situation where we see Arsenal at the end of the season not picking up a piece of silverware? That would be absolutely insane. I'm not suggesting it would happen, but the whole idea of the Carabao Cup, and because it's so early as well, and we've seen it in the past, it can be a trigger at times to push it on to better things. Now, didn't necessarily happen for us when we went for that quad season either. Because we ended up faltering. We were very unlucky the last day of the season. Aston Villa just dropping the ball against Man City basically, and going to one with those two late goals really paved way to what we were trying to do there. And I do truly believe we did pick up a domestic cup double, but I do truly believe that if we had have won the league that day, I think the momentum of winning the league would have carried us through that Champions League final. Unfortunately, Vinny scoring at the back post, Trent going to sleep. But I think we probably would have carried us through. And I think that would have been those moments, that last 10 minutes of that Villa game against Man City, could have been potentially the difference between winning and not winning a quad. So it's difficult, and I don't necessarily like the quad talk either as well. And I think for Arsenal, especially where they've been so void of trophies now since that FA Cup win those years ago, I think you need to talk about just getting a piece of silverware in the cabinet and then build from that. And we know even during Klopp's time as well, he got to a number of semi-finals and just missed out. And it took him a little bit of time to get over the line. And once he got over the line, then you kind of open the gates a little bit, and then a few more trophies come, and you build a little bit of momentum, and then you can build towards a Premier League and eventually a Champions League and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of builds that way. You pick up domestic cups and, you get there. So that trophy, that Carabao Cup, which I really love, nothing like a good day out at Wembley, especially earlier in the season before you run into that real last 2 or 3 months. It's great to get that in the cabinet, and it's a great feeling as well. And I think it was huge yesterday as well, because City have had such a poor season by their standards, and they've spent a lot of money as well. So it was imperative that they put something in the trophy cabinet and also send a message kind of to Arsenal that although like they've stuttered in the last few weeks, they're not going away yet, and it's not over yet. And for Arsenal, it was them sending a message that if they could put that first piece of silverware in, I think they would have kicked on. They probably would beat City at the Etihad and all, and then it would be game over. But it didn't play out that way. It was a fascinating game, I have to say, especially first half when I was doing the watch along. To see this kind of chess game evolve on the pitch, and the back and forth and the movement and the thinking and even the emotion of both managers in certain moments and stuff like that and all. It was fascinating to watch and to do a watch along, especially when you don't have a card in the game. Being a Liverpool fan, it didn't matter to me yesterday what really happened, but it was fascinating to watch it. But then it was amazing to see City and how they just wrangle control off a team and just make a team like Arsenal, who are an amazing team, let's be honest, to make them look so ordinary yesterday in that second half. And remember, this is a City team all season that have been struggling. They look, even Rodri coming back and all has looked a pale shadow of himself, really on it yesterday. Bernardo Silva, where he gets that energy and that engine, I do not know, but that guy can just run for days. And then you sprinkle that with the skill of a Doku and the youth and exuberance of an O'Reilly, and you put the quality of a Cherokee in there, and look at even that back line and stuff like that and all. Let's take some comments anyway. Let us know in the comments how you felt about it as well. Big up, Will. Arsenal were absolutely shocking in the final. Can't believe they're top of the league. Yeah, it is mad, isn't it? And that's a lot of the conversations that came out yesterday. How is this team being so progressed in the league? Now we know we've looked at some of the Arsenal results, and listen, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the team that wins the league is the team that wins the league and deserves it. And listen, you don't always mind how you get there. I mean, let's be honest. If Arsenal go and lift the Premier League and they were to lift the Champions League, I don't think they'd be too worried about that day out at the Carabao Cup. Whether that happens or not is another thing. But will it have ramifications going forward? Will Arsenal come back off the international break now? And will things be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more labelled? Will they second guess and second question themselves? They were made look real ordinary yesterday, second half. Big up, Dan. Good to see you today, pal. Precursor to the end of the season. It could be. Now, the other side of this as well is you can go into that locker room and you can take that Arsenal side and you can turn around and go, there's bigger days ahead. There's bigger trophies that we're vying for this season. You never dismiss a trophy because you're only up for 4 every season. You never dismiss a trophy, but it could galvanise them. It could be like, what Arteta's done really well this season more often than not is he's presented it is, and Klopp did it a lot of the times as well, it's us against the rest of the world. Everyone wants us to lose. And when you present it that way, sometimes you can galvanise the team to come back again and stuff like that. Klopp did it so many times. And I think Arteta's been doing a bit of that this season. Because you can tell even like some of the late winners they've had, some of the results they've had to grind out and stuff like that, but found a way and stuff like that. And that is a mark of champions. Now, I'd be very surprised if they don't kick on and win the league. But I suppose the other flip side of that as well is if they were to drop a couple of results now, if confidence is on the deck. We've seen today a number of players have pulled out of international duty as well. Is that just they didn't fancy the friendlies, or is there genuine injuries there? And could we see a different side come 2 weeks' time or whatever it is? Big up, Keith. What's the story, pal? We know Haaland is an amazing goal scorer, but you think he's a bit overrated? I don't think he's overrated. I think as a goal scoring machine, he's unbelievable. And I did think in the first half of this season, we've seen a Haaland that was evolving that we hadn't seen before in terms of getting involved in the play more, not just being the guy that puts the ball in the back of the net. And if you look at that first half of the season and you look at how hard he worked, he put in some really good performances first half of the season where he was, and you've seen it even yesterday. Yesterday, okay, he didn't really get involved in terms of up front and the scoring stuff. He did a couple of runs, ball taken off and stuff like that, and 1 or 2 headers and stuff like that, but not really at the level that we expect from him. But when he wasn't doing that, you could see he was dropping back trying to help the team and stuff like that. And that's the part of his game that hasn't been there before. I wouldn't say he doesn't show up for big games. I say he's found one thing sometimes in finals and stuff like that. Remember, I think is it this season, he scored his first goal in Anfield, I think. So, like, he does show up. There is big games that he does show up in. But I do think at times they do struggle a little bit when he doesn't show up. He's their main man. Now, we've the same thing with Mo Salah. We've struggled this season because if you look at Mo Salah's form, okay, a lot of the team has struggled for form. But, like, we had the team struggling a little bit from form last season as well at times, and it was Mo at times who dug us out with the goals and the assists and also. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't call him overrated. I think that's unfair, but I think at times it's just he's either on it or he's not. There's no middle ground with Haaland. He's either sublime and 9 out of 10, or he's a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Is Mark coming on tonight? He said he's due to come on. He's just a little bit held up with the kids or something like that. So he said he'd try and get on. Depends how long the show goes for. He might be coming on. Right. William, if this was Liverpool or City from 5 years ago, Arsenal wouldn't be top of the league. Everyone around them haven't been playing well. Yeah, well, you can tell by the points tally isn't great either. I mean, like, everyone has had a massive drop off. But look, I don't care if I win the league with 55 points or 100 points. I don't care. At the end of the day, it's just a trophy. At the end of the day, it's just a trophy. Look at us at the moment. We're struggling in this top 5 race. I would have happy for every player on Saturday to drop a 4 out of 10 if we beat Brighton 2-1. It's just all about the points now at the moment. Are we finally slot out an Alonso, the World Cup winner, in? You funny, eh? You funny. Listen, I think looking at the way the season has gone, I think looking at the results, I think looking at some of the records we wouldn't necessarily want to be breaking. I think it's very difficult to maintain this position. Um, and if it was me personally, and no disrespect to him, brilliant for winning the league for us and stuff like that. No, but I think the results this season and how we've played have been really, really bad. Um, so I think it's very, very difficult to justify keeping him in the position. Now I know he's had a difficult season. There's been injuries, and obviously the start of the season and the summer with the Diogo tragedy and all that kind of stuff is really, really tough. Um, but I don't know. I think it probably needs a change. I'm not too sure in terms of recruitment and stuff like that. We spent an awful lot of money in the summer. But we also, I think we played down the effect of losing a Luis Diaz and a Trent in terms of what they did in the team. And obviously Diogo as well. Big, big loss. So I don't know. It's a very difficult one to call. In terms of Alonso, I'm not too sure. Look, I'll give anyone a spin if they wanted to make a change now during the international break and see can we kick on. I think if we don't make a change, I think we're going to have a very big problem trying to do anything in the FA Cup, and I think we'll have a bigger problem trying to do anything in the Champions League. I just think when you think about I know we coasted by Galatasaray in the second leg, stumbled in the first leg. But now you're coming up. What are you going to come up? You're going to come up against a PSG. Then you're potentially, if you got through that, you're going to come up against a Bayern or a Real. And then if you get through that, what are you looking at? A Barca, Atleti, or Arsenal? No disrespect to Sporting. But I think it'd be very, very difficult. So I don't know. But I just think if they're going to make a change, what I don't want the whole season to be in ruin, where we're struggling on the top 5 front, where we're out of the FA Cup, where we crash out of the Champions League, and then the light bulb goes off and you go, oh, we need to make a change. Maybe try and make a change now and try and recover something this season. I would say it's been bad. Big up, my friend. We're all at rest now, but only until 3rd of April, and PSG will hurt all of Liverpool's teams. And after 2 to 3 days, you will play against Man City at the Etihad Stadium. I know. Listen, you don't have to remind me. I know how difficult it is. It's a rough run. And that's why I'm thinking maybe now with the 2-week break, now is the time maybe to make a change. The Brighton game was shambolic. The Galatasaray game was brilliant. You know what I mean? So I just think if you're going to make a change, why wait till the end of the season? What if we wait till the end of the season and we don't have European football? And I know people are thinking this, that, and the other and all, but what if we don't? What if we don't? It'd be crazy, William, at Key Serie, you're bang on. The quality of the league has been so poor this year from everyone. Well, the problem with that is I'm okay. I think the quality of the league has definitely gone down, but I don't think that negates the winning of the league, because let's be honest, the quality of the league last year wasn't great either. But I'm certainly not going to let it throw any shade on Liverpool winning the league last year and being champions. And I think this year is kind of more the same. I think this year it's kind of. Are we seeing a situation now in the Premier League where outside of the top teams it's kind of leveling out a little bit? I haven't had, and I've said it on many a podcast so far, I haven't identified one game this year, not one game, where I've sat in a podcast and said 3 points. And we could have done that in the past. I think now every game in the Premier League now nearly feels like a cup final, no matter who you're playing. Make it make sense. We go out against a Wolves side, play them in the league, and get beaten. And this was a Wolves side where Rob Edwards made changes because he wanted to prioritise the FA Cup game. Then we rock up for the FA Cup game, and we beat Wolves, who arguably put out a stronger team than they did in the league game 4 or 5 days before, or whatever it was. It makes no sense. And you get the feeling now these players want this manager gone, because that performance against Brighton. And I don't know what the manager was thinking either. I don't know how we take a forward player off and we put on Curtis Jones, and we have Rio on the bench and we have Chiesa on the bench. It's just some of the decisions are just bewildering. they're just bewildering. So I just don't get it. But I do think there is a certain kind of leveling out in the Premier League, where now any team can take points off anyone, really. You know what I mean? Look at Spurs. Look at just how bad Spurs are. Like, it's just, the old saying, "You're too big to go down." You're never too big to get down. If you get into that twister and that whirlpool of those results not going for you and stuff like that. And let's be honest, we've lost 10 games this season, which is absolutely unforgivable. Unforgivable. Big up, bro. Liverpool maybe fight back against PSG, but Man City will maul you. And that Liverpool Man City 2-1. Yeah, listen, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. You know, I'm looking at Man City at the moment now, and you look at that second half yesterday. That second half yesterday would wipe out our current Liverpool team, no problem. And I've no problem coming on here and saying it. There's no doubt. I actually did a preview, I think, for the Brighton game on the channel, and I said I wouldn't be surprised at all if the team that hammered Galatasaray and went through just doesn't rock up at lunchtime on Saturday, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Get rid of Slot during this international break. He's lost the dressing room. Get Stevie G in, and he might give us a bounce the way Carrick did with Man United. Do you know the only thing about that, Keith? And I'm not against it, but I don't want to arrive at a day where Liverpool fans are in Anfield and they're booing Steven Gerrard. I don't want to ever arrive at that day. Stevie G is my guy. Stevie G is one of my guys. You know what I mean? And I don't ever want to have to witness that or experience that. It would be horrific. Absolutely horrific. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I think he'd carry an awful lot of respect. I know he's very close to Mo Salah. You seen the reaction when Mo was scoring against Galatasaray and Stevie up in the box giving it loads and all and stuff like that and all, I think it might be the change that could work. But how crazy would it be if Liverpool found its rhythm and went on a run in the Champions League and did what we did in 2005? Can you imagine lifting a Champions League in Budapest? And listen, I'm dreaming here. And I know I'm dreaming. Let me dream. And Steven Gerrard or Xavi Alonso were the manager. How insane would that be? How insane would that be? Big up, Joanne. I hope you're good. Commiserations on yesterday and stuff like that. And thanks a million for joining us yesterday on the watch along and stuff like that. Really appreciate your support always in the comments. Oh, she's full on tonight. Arteta out. Get him out of my club. There we go. Joanne, you're going to be Premier League champions probably in 4 or 5 weeks. Hold fire. Get the trophy first, stand aside whatever you want to do. Keith, there's a lot more teams in the Premier League that are more well coached and have good players, so they aren't afraid of the top 6 teams anymore. Fact. Listen, I didn't have Liverpool and their normal fans, but that brain-rooted animal called Don Hussam really messed persona. He is. He's out there. He's a proper triggerer, isn't he, Don? I used to follow Don's channel a couple of years ago when he was kind of starting out and stuff like that before he took it on full time. I think he was a chemical engineer or something like that. I look, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know what I mean? A lot of content creators do. Can't fault them for that. Listen, no lack of passion. But sometimes there's a reality check as well as needed and stuff like that and all. I've often commented on some of his streams. I think he gives Mo Salah an awful pass at times. Like he doesn't call, he blames everyone else really. Occasionally you call him out, but when he has a bad game, sometimes he gives him a pass. Yeah, Don's out there. He's a headbanger, isn't he? What's the crack, Hope you're good, bro. What's the crack, Noel? Where's Elvis? Elvis hasn't left the building because he hasn't entered the building yet. So we're waiting on him. Oh, he might be joining us now, though. Just good timing there.
What's the story, cuz?
Hola, what's happening? You want to chat here tonight? All wondering where you were, all worried about it. What's the crack? Where's Elvis? I said he hasn't left the building because he's just about to enter.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you
very
go.
good. That was good time, wasn't
There
it?
you go.
Yeah,
Good
Georgia.
time, isn't
Georgia took a little longer to go sleep this evening, so she was telling me all about school and this, that, and the other. So yeah, she had a hectic day.
it? And they're important conversations to have,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
fairness.
She just have a lot to chat about
Yeah,
when we're lying in bed and
yeah.
stuff. And
I'm
then
just going through the final here from yesterday.
then
Briefly, that's all I've done so far. I did actually do a shout out. I don't know if you want to add to it. We'll go back quickly. Obviously, Michael Lister passing away, an absolute pillar of Irish sport, especially GAA and stuff like that. So
yeah,
very, very sad.
just his voice and everything just reminds you of growing up and stuff like that. The Sunday
Yeah,
game, to be here
yeah.
33 years, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah,
I think
sadly
at one
missed.
stage he used to cover the Irish Open golf and everything as well, which was
Yeah,
really cool.
and he was mad into the motorsports.
Mm.
The on that's one of his pastimes. But I was talking to John R. Taylor today about it, and he was telling me about how he had the heart failure a few years ago, like a good few
Mm.
years ago, and stuff like that. Vincent Hogan obviously brought him back from a game of golf in Galway, and only for Michael left his phone in Vincent's car, and Michael rang it from the house phone, and by the time Vincent got in to give him the phone back, he was on the ground after suffering from heart failure. Like so, but yeah, just and I couldn't believe only 71 when you think about it as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Nothing
young,
like
it's young, it's young.
nothing,
But it's
but so sad.
he lived a really good life though as well. He got to
Ah,
experience a lot of really good stuff and all, you know. So
77 All Ireland finals he did, and that's obviously between the football and the hurling. Like
yeah,
77,
that's
unreal,
insane, isn't it? When you think about it, yeah.
unbelievable.
So we gave the family and all and everyone a shout out and stuff. So we move on to the
Definitely.
final. What'd you make of the final yesterday? Give us general thoughts on it and stuff. And
Do you know where they watched the first half of the final? In Dubdock in St James's Hospital with Holly. She wasn't well again. They had it on in the weight room, so we was watching
yeah.
it there. Yeah, listen, I thought Arsenal were the better team in the first half, and obviously then second half City came out and did what City always done and got over the line.
Both
They
of us
be
being
just
goalkeepers, that triple save.
yeah, something else.
Gravy,
Trafford,
innit? Gravy.
yeah. And a fair play to him, like, because obviously he's been playing in that competition, and there's always a kind of thing in their head. You've played every game, but will you throw Donnarumma in there and stuff like that? But no, Trafford done very, very well. A tale of
Question for you. Question for you. If you're the manager, and I'm going to put you more in the Arsenal camp than I am in the City camp, because obviously City have had an awful lot of success over the last number of years and stuff.
yeah,
But if you're the Arsenal manager yesterday, and I know hindsight's a great thing, and you've had 6 years where you haven't put a piece of silverware in the cabinet, and you know you're under pressure to deliver silverware,
yeah.
do you play David Raya or do you play Kepa?
Like, listen, Kepa's been in finals in Wembley before, that sort of way.
He
So he
certainly
does.
has.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But so he does have that experience. But yeah, listen, you do listen. Any type of final you go into, you have to play your strongest starting 11 if you want want a chance of winning that
Yeah.
trophy. So I think he possibly should have started his obviously his strongest 11. And by the way, didn't Arteta win that FA Cup? But did he come in halfway during that season?
No, he came in I think he came in October.
October.
There's misinformation out there that he won it with Emery's side. And I think
Yeah.
that's a little bit unfair because he hadn't even started the FA Cup journey at that stage.
No,
Now, listen,
yeah,
he couldn't influence the squad. The squad was the squad bar the January
yeah.
window and stuff like
The
that. So,
window, yeah.
so I think sometimes it's a little bit unfair. It's like when people turn around and they go, "Oh, well, Slot won the league last year with Klopp's side," but then Klopp the year before didn't win.
Yeah. Unlucky to be beaten the year before, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
but you
that
know
the
what I
highest
mean.
second place points the year before that?
I think it
Or
was
was
the year
that
before that again, wasn't it?
was it?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an interesting final, but City getting over the line as per usual. I thought Arsenal should have taken away. Like City didn't. Was it the 33rd or 34th minute? They didn't even have a shot, not even a shot. Like, and
They had
Arsenal
one shot
created
on
a few
target, I think, in the
chances.
first half. I think it was.
That was it, like,
Yeah.
and Arsenal created a few chances and stuff like that. City looked shaky a bit. Bernardo Silva was bleeding, throwing himself into all sorts of tackles and this, that, and the other. I
He's an
thought he was very
incredible
lucky.
player, isn't he? I described him
He is.
yesterday at the watch along. That is, if he's playing on your team, you'll fucking love him. If he's
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
against
yeah.
you as a rival, you'll fucking hate him.
Yeah,
It's
hate him, yeah.
that kind of Bruno effect, isn't it? That kind of
Yeah,
Bruno effect. But I just said earlier on the podcast, what an engine! That boy can
Oh,
run all day long,
unbelievable,
all day
unbelievable.
long, and he's now spring chicken. Remember as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
he just
mad as
reminds
that.
me of times as James Milner, just can go all day long.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know. What did you think of the boy O'Reilly? He's a star, isn't he?
Yeah, unbelievable. And his sister up in the box, the biggest City fan that he knows and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, very
It's
very cool.
it's great to see, and obviously the Gallagher brothers were there and stuff like that. Noel and
Of
Liam were
course they
there with
were.
their families and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's a rough one to call. What are you expecting to happen now? I mean, there's obviously a lot of talk coming out of this that sometimes winning the Carabao Cup can give you that kind of bounce into that last 2 or 3 months of the season. Do you expect Arsenal to have a problem where you getting the see? You reckon they'll see out the Premier League and maybe pick up another piece of silverware?
I think there's going to be plenty more twists and turns now. Obviously, they still have to play each other now in a few weeks, don't they?
A lot of questions over that second half mentality. They died
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
feet in that second half.
It was like they done a lot of huffing and puffing in the first half. They and the second half they just got to them. City's experience, I think, of being in finals and getting over the line came in, and that's what I won it for them, But listen, you look at Arsenal do have a strong squad, but when you look at City as well, the quality that they have,
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's get in and have a quick look back then at the Premier League. Red, he's all shook up. There you go. He's all shook up.
Keith, don't
There
be
you go.
cruel.
There he is, Mark Elvis Presley. The king has arrived. The king has arrived.
That's it.
And Joanna's in as well. She says, I ain't flaky like some. I stick to my guns, literally. Even if we win the league, I want him out. Even if she wins the league, she wants Arteta gone. She was on the watch
Well,
along
how are you, Joanne,
yesterday. She
as
was in
well?
the
Are you
chat,
alright?
so she was in good form. She was in good form. Big up Don Husam, Mark Albridge, Arsenal t-shirt. What a person. More brain rooted and deluded. Yeah, no, yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Tell you though, they make a few quid from what they do. That's all I'll say. That's for sure. Big up William. Mark is late for the show as he usually is, getting back from lunch and divorce.
I haven't done that in a long time, I tell you. A long time.
He's been known to come for a ball or two as well and take his time to get back on his line. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, Will will remember me playing the Astro down on Pier Street when I was the centre half trying to take out Curry's players. He knows.
Nice. 1 minute. People are happy with Super Mick, then they want him out. I never changed my mind. You didn't, Joanne. You didn't.
No, in fairness,
you've been fairly consistent.
Yeah, Joanne's
win
been staunch.
Or go. Mark, I love you, but get that shit off you. You're not going to change him now, Keith. You're not going to change him
United.
Now. And this is coming from a lad whose mother's a hammer. His mother's a hammer.
I had one of your mates in the shop today.
Fill him in.
What's his nickname? The Celtic Warrior, is it?
The Celtic Warrior, yeah. The Celtic Warrior was today.
Seamus was in with me and Jervis today, and you want to see the skinny jeans he was wearing for a big bloke. Like, he was wearing a big pair of black Skechers, jeans painted onto him, this brown kind of looking hoodie and a hat. He was with
missus with him.
No, he's with some dude, man. I don't know who he was, but
he was in that new Filipino restaurant underneath us the other day with the missus.
Right. Well, he
the Filipino food.
So. This bloke that he was with was obviously smaller than him, but he was wearing these chino cargo shorts, right? A long denim jacket with like a white fur on the inside of the denim jacket, a hat backwards, and like tinted blue glasses on him. Because he was walking into the shop, and I didn't even clock Seamus, and I was looking at your man going, what the fuck is he wearing? Where does he think he is? You thought it was the
Hardy Bucks? That was the Viper out of the Hardy Bucks or something,
exactly.
A big Eddie Dorkin.
Yeah, then the lad, I just said, how are you? And then I clocked Seamus. So I went over to Aoife, I was like, that's your man, Seamus, blah, blah. and she had to Google who he was because he hadn't a
Yeah, she
clue. And
said
there was
who?
another, yeah, there's another lad, Sean, covering with Soleil from Stephen's Green. So he was upstairs, and I said it at the time. And it turns out he's a wrestling fan. He was going bleeding mad. So, but yeah, Seamus was in with me today. I told him to tune into you tomorrow night, Keith. But now that you slagged me, I'm not gonna. I'll tell him to retract that.
There we go, 100%. Yeah, you got to show me what you're working on. What have you got ready for me, mate? What have you got ready?
And how are you,
Yeah,
Ian? I hope you're well, pal.
trying to debate against Arsenal, the deluded fan, is like trying to catch water with a fork. Yeah. Well, the good thing on this podcast, my friend, is that most of the Arsenal fans on this podcast are very level-headed about what they
Yeah,
want
in
and what they
fairness, there.
expect. They're not deluded one bit. Joanna's in there, Coyle's in there. They all tell you straight up how it is and stuff like that. They're not deluded in any way at all. Best place for doing your rehearsal for a podcast show is in the bathroom because you can hear yourself and know if you're doing well or not with the echo.
That's
Echo,
where I used to practice all my Elvis singing in the shower.
is that echo as in the runners or echo as in the echo?
Echo.
Old skill, baby. Old skill. No, very class. I'd say he looks massive in person.
Yeah, he was big, like, but I couldn't believe the jeans he was wearing. They were painted onto him. And as they left, they walked up by Jack and Jones and Diesel and stuff. And I was just looking at him going, he is a unit. I didn't
No,
realise he was that tall.
Yeah, he's a big dude, all right. He's a big dude. What I would say, though, Keith, you know yourself in Ireland here. When you say someone's massive,
yeah, the blade massive.
Yeah, could have a different connotation to it, as they say. Right,
but now he
sound.
was sound.
Yeah, now he seems a nice guy and stuff like that. I had plenty to say about us years ago, but that's all water under the bridge now.
Actually, yes, I remember you saying that to me before. Actually, yeah, I remember that. Gee, if I had known that earlier, fuck.
A leopard doesn't change his spots.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Right, Friday, 2-2 with Bournemouth. Interesting decisions, to say the least. You did open the door for us, but of course, as usual, we failed to walk through it. Talk to me about Friday night, first of all. I know you were on a mad one.
Yeah, no, listen, I think first half was very similar to the Aston Villa game. Wasn't a great first half, few chances here and there, but nothing to write home about. Second half, we came out, we played a lot better, as did Bournemouth, I suppose, as well. But yeah, we got the first of the penalties on the night, and Bruno slots it away calmly. Then you think to yourself, right, here we go. Hopefully this can be something. And the penalty decision against Samad was waved away by the referee and by VAR, and Bournemouth go up the other end of the pitch and equalise. And I was thinking to myself, even when Bournemouth scored, it, probably like a lot of people, even for the neutrals, I think you're just waiting, going, all right, he's going to get told it's an error, walk over to the screen, it's the penalty's going to be given. Bournemouth scores when we chalked off, bloody blah, and I'm looking, going, nothing's happening here. What's going on?
They seem to be relatively quick as well to just agree with the on-field decision, wasn't
it? Yeah. It's and apparently he's been suspended for 2 games now or something like that, and fined £17,000 sterling. But sure, listen, we're lucky in a way because yourselves and Chelsea's result didn't go. He's didn't win and Chelsea didn't win, but like
Villa were the big winners.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And in fairness, I thought West Ham might have taken a point off them if I'm being honest. But because just listen, we all thought, I've said it on this before, you're not going to get consistency. Everyone's opinions are going to differ, but in that situation, if you give one penalty, you have to give the other. Like it's a push. Now listen, Harry Maguire is 100% a sending off his dogso. I think the Bournemouth player would have given away the penalty. It's a yellow card. It's a caution. It's not a sending off. He has other players around him. Ahmad is at an angle where he's not really. There's another player going to block the shot if he.
Do you know what it is? I thought when he looked at it as well. I thought when he was looking at the Ahmad one, I could see the ref nearly crouched down looking, and it was like he was looking at the feet to see was there going to be a tangle of legs here and how it happened. I don't think he even seen the shoulder tug.
But if you look at a replay, and I was watching it, he's down like that, and the whistle nearly almost goes to the mouth when Ahmad goes down, and the way he lands, he bounces on the ball and stuff like that. But then you look at it when he's crouched down as well. Bournemouth player takes it out. I don't know which one it was, and he nearly runs into the referee because it's like the referee is just stuck in time. And I was looking at it going, what's going on here? But yeah, it was a dreadful
He was
decision.
really waiting for something to really happen to give the
Yeah,
pen.
yeah.
And then by doing that, he kind of missed kind of what actually happened.
Yeah, it was a strange one, and
Yeah.
one of the lads texted me today. It says something with Dermot Gallagher doesn't agree with the referee on Ref Watch today on Sky Sports.
Mm.
Now I didn't see it myself, but I'm presuming he thought it was a penalty as well. I think everyone does, bar the lads that were involved in the decision making on Friday night. But yeah, listen. After that, we go, and I thought Harry Maguire got ahead on it. It was obviously an OG from the corner. You're 2-1 up, and you're going right. We're back in this. Let's forget what just happened there.
I felt for the boy Hill as well because he had played well.
Yeah, no, we did.
He
He,
was
he
very
played,
unlucky
but
on that.
listen, there's nothing you can do in that situation when the ball's whipped in across and you're going to try to win a header and it hits off
Mm.
you. It is terrible, but like I thought to myself, right, we can bounce back here and go, and then yeah, Harry gets the wrong side of Evan Nielsen, and yeah, he gets sent off, and I was hoping that
Do you know what I thought was hilarious as well? All through the commentary when United had gone ahead, all through the commentary was United are now 9 points ahead of sixth.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going, what is this
yeah,
about? Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, we're
United are nearly looking up towards City at this stage,
see, yeah,
not
we're
looking down at who's in
yeah.
sixth.
Sure, I think we were only about 6 points behind City and all the
Six
game in
points
hand.
behind
But
City,
if we
yeah.
had, yeah, but like
But it's
it,
mad the
it's
commentary. Like,
crazy, it's crazy, and but yeah, listen, I was very, very disappointed with the result. We've lodged a formal complaint with the authorities and stuff like that. But listen, yourself, because we just seen it there. He's getting a 2-match suspension and a fine. Like that's not going to
yeah,
bring us back 3 points or anything like that. So it's very, very frustrating in that sense. And Howard Webb, I texted you yesterday because coming out with the same spiel he always comes out with. Um, so
what did
yeah,
I say
it's
to you? It's copy and paste every time.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
copy
hundred
and paste
percent.
every
So
time.
you can't really feel anything. Um,
I seen Rio. I think
that
Rio put up something on X, and it was a picture of the Ahmad penalty that should have
yeah.
been. And he's was it? No, sorry, it was Saeed put it up. Saeed TV, and Saeed put it up, and he says, "I've never seen a more blatant penalty not given." And underneath, I put up a picture of McAllister getting booted in the chest by Doku or
Against
whatever it
City,
was, right in the middle of the chest. I was going, I think we have seen a more blatant one in fairness,
yeah,
you know. Yeah,
Jesus,
absolutely.
yeah, it's gas, isn't it? But yeah, listen, very disappointed. With just
Yeah,
leaving with a point, and not only that, we're not playing for it till this day 3 weeks, against Leeds. So obviously with the
yeah.
international break and everything else, so it is frustrating when something like that happens. You just want to get back into the next game and push on. But yeah, it's gonna sit not uneasy with us for the next 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, that's no choice, really, isn't it?
Mm,
Then we go into the lunchtime game on Saturday, which was absolute dross. Not a single player showed up for us. Terrible. I thought Slot was crazy. I mean, losing Ekatike and bringing on Curtis Jones and having no front man and no outlet. And then for about
yeah,
15 minutes, Verts kept on playing balls down the channels as if Ekatike was still on the fucking
the
pitch.
pitch,
I was
yeah,
there going, you're now the forward guy. So stop
yeah.
trying to play the forward guy in when you're now that guy.
It's
It was
gas, isn't it?
crazy to watch. Yeah, it was
No,
crazy to watch.
I couldn't believe the result goes. Now listen, it's a tough place to go to, but I was thinking it'd be a draw if I'm being honest with you. Danny Welbeck again in great form. I thought him and was it
Canate
gone?
making them look world class in fairness.
Yeah,
Canate
but your
soft
man
as
is it
shite at that
gone?
back post.
Diego Gomez looks some player, man.
Yeah, he's
The free
decent, all
kick
right.
nearly scored and all, and but yeah, the great 3 points for it. Like people were saying about Danny Welbeck should have been on the plane and this, that, and the other. But yeah, how did you
I
feel
often
about the
think
result?
if there's room for Jordan Henderson on that plane, there's definitely room for Danny Welbeck.
Hundred
You know,
percent, 100%. How? What did
um,
you feel about the result yourself? Cause
I kind of felt uneasy about it, and I did a match reaction to it, and I just fucking lost my shit. I
yeah,
just went for everyone. I went for everyone on the reaction. I'd had enough. You know what I mean? That's 10 losses now this season.
yeah,
It's unacceptable. Really, really tough to take. And like I can take a loss if the lads run themselves into the ground
yeah,
and
yeah,
someone's going to tell me, okay, we busted our ass on Wednesday to get through against Galatasaray. We're a bit tired, and we've hit a wall and stuff like that. But the amount of times it's happening this season is it's a
And
shambles.
not only that, like it was
Now I know
2-1
Welbeck did look offside for the second one. Now I have to say so.
When I seen the replay of it as well, the angle they have it at, it isn't in a straight line. Did you see that one?
Oh
It's
no,
kind
they
of
got
like
some
at an
kid to
angle.
draw it on the screen with a crayon. Like,
But no, the thing about it was because yes, if you're beaten 2-1 by a Brighton team away from home, you can do it in certain ways. Like you said, work your socks off, this, that, and the other. But the fact of the matter, it could have been 3 or 4-1. Like you're looking at it going, that's not Liverpool. Like
Yeah, absolutely mad. Yeah, you could easily do a domestic cup double. You could get Arsenal FA Cup again. That'd be crazy. Absolutely crazy. But the question is, forget about these domestic cups. The question is, are you going to draw them back in? Do you feel you're going to win the league? Have you got the chest to win the league, to win your game in hand, beat Arsenal at the Etihad, and push on and try and draw them in and bring down some of that goal difference? The goal difference could be pivotal in this. Could be pivotal. Yeah, it could be. Interesting. Keith, I don't see Chelsea getting Champions League spots. They have a serious hard run in. The inexperience with the team doesn't help Chelsea as well, plus the injuries. What did you make of the punishment last week for what they done? All the other teams getting deducted points, but Chelsea getting away without a points deduction. Did you find that was a little bit strange?
Yeah, it's they're doing their own points deduction anyway on Saturday evening for getting beaten by.
Moisey came out and all asking why.
I seen that. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because Dave, one of the lads that works with Yvonne, was over there the weekend. Night, take care, buddy. Big Phil's in the chat. Hope you're well, pal. Yeah, he was over at the match on Saturday, and he brought his 2 daughters over, and he went with the Everton Supporters Club. So after the game, they hung out in the stadium and got to meet the Everton sent the Irish lads out to them, Jacob Bryan and Seamus Coleman and all. So he got some really good pictures and stuff like that, and a great result for him as well.
It's a great performance. Yeah. And really the first really good performance in the Hill Dickinson this season, to be honest.
They found it difficult there, haven't they? Settling in and stuff like that. But Beto, I had him in 100%. Beto, I had him in my fancy for a week or two there, and I took him out last week and he bangs in 2 goals. You couldn't write it.
I think Darren had Ekatike and he went off after like 7 minutes.
I had Ekatike as well.
Oh, had you as well?
Joke it is, yeah.
So you took out Beto and you had Ekatike? Bad day.
Very bad day. Very bad day.
Yeah, definitely possible, yeah. That's mad, isn't it? That's crazy. I think we had it. Did we have it one season with Chelsea? Did we meet Chelsea in the FA Cup and the Carabao and we bet them about?
Could have been, yeah. Listen, Arsenal still have to get by Southampton, don't forget.
Yeah. Fulham picking up a good win against Burnley 3-1.
Yeah, they done it the hard way. Obviously, going behind 1-0. Fleming scored, but yeah, it was great all round performance. Uriel May scoring another good goal. Wilson to make it 2-1. I think it was Jimenez with a penalty, which see that them stutter run ups was how they haven't banned them. They should be bleeding banned. Did you see his run ups for the penalty? Jimenez, absolute joke.
I don't know how somebody even takes a penalty that way. It's insane.
He went back twice. He runs up, goes back, and looking, what are you doing? Keeper goes the right way, but in the top corner. But listen, fantastic result
and yet if a keeper steps off his line, he's penalised.
Yeah, exactly. But fantastic result for Fulham. You look at it now as well. Isn't Harry Wilson out of contract during the summer? And looks like Silva could be in the same boat as well. So, but listen, you'd like to think they sign new contracts and stuff like that. But Fulham have been fantastic at times this season.
They were signed that on Friday as well about Iriola as well. He hasn't signed a new contract, and I think the Bilbao job is going to come up. Did you read that?
Yeah,
and he said he would like the Bilbao job. He's a Bilbao guy, isn't he, Iriola?
I think. Yeah. So no, it makes sense for him to go there. Eddie Howe back to Bournemouth, huh?
Don't rule it out. Or maybe in after Tuchel.
Yeah.
God, who knows?
Jason Tyndall as the Bournemouth manager. Could you only imagine?
Did you see? Obviously, Leeds nailed Brentford nail. I wasn't expecting that. I thought there might be a few goals in it, but nothing. Sunday, Newcastle won, Sunderland 2. Robbie at the death. The latest goal in the Premier League era in a time where derby.
And
Latest winner.
Newcastle fans were boasting about taking a handy 6 points off Sunderland at the start of the season. Oh,
To
how
see the
times have
trouble.
changed.
See
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
Man,
They
it's
just,
like going back to the 80s, wasn't it? See the
yeah.
murder. There
Oh,
was murder in the bars and everything. Though some fella
yeah.
nearly
Killings.
had a coffee table
Killings.
through the
Yeah.
trap. Yeah.
Absolute killings. Like, but yeah, it was a great match. Well, a proper derby, had a bit of everything in it, and yeah, late winner. Yeah, you see, for Newcastle or for Sunderland's equaliser. Now listen, absolute terrible. The short goal kick out. O'Neill Gordon took it well, but
Yeah.
the equaliser. It's like your Manchester. Uh, good save by Ramsdale, but Ramsdale should have got a stronger punch out, I thought, from the initial corner. Like, I thought it was a bit of a weak punch out. And
Mm.
they equalised, but then they go on to win it. And fair play to them. Sunderland have been fantastic this season. They've been brilliant. I think they've gone beyond anyone's expectation that we had of them. And
Oh, their
it's you know,
expectation was to stay in the division.
yeah, no, but
They were
everyone
acknowledged,
else is
Yeah.
everyone else thought,
Mm.
listen, they're gonna get relegated, blah
If
blah.
you went
But
back, if you went back 6 weeks ago, we were talking maybe a European spot.
yeah, yeah. But you know
You know?
what, cause I really think they deserve to be in the Premier League. I think that's what they've a team that's been missing for a long time, and it's great to see them there. And long may it last as well.
Sunderland till I die, hey.
Yeah.
No, my only
Here,
issue in Liverpool, will they keep Slot for another season because his contract is up in 2027? That way, Liverpool don't have to fork out millions to get rid of him. Slot out now. I don't think that's the issue, Keith. I think the issue is it depends how the season now runs out with the FA Cup and the Champions League and all, and where we finish in the league. That will probably dictate what happens in the summer if they don't make a change this week or next week. So I
is
don't
he in the
know. It's
beta
hard to
now?
know.
Is he?
No, where
Did I
did he
say
say
that?
he has gone off somewhere, but I don't think it's a beta. I
Oh,
think is he
okay.
gone back to is he gone back home to Holland? I think or something like
Oh,
that,
is he?
Netherlands. Yeah, because there is talk maybe of a move to Ajax in the summer. Apparently, Ajax are looking for someone, and he's being touted for the job. So let's see what happens. But I
Hidden.
don't necessarily think the answer is either Alonso or Gerrard. So I've got to put that out there as well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And look, there's a lot of teams I think are going to be looking for managers in the summer as well.
By the
So
looks of
it's going to
it.
be. I think we're going to get a summer transfer window that's more about managers than it is about players.
Would you take a
So
Marco Silva? Because
can't.
no. Over his past, like yeah.
Can't. That's not the guy how good he is. He's a good manager and stuff like that. But just I think if we're gonna make a change, we gotta, I don't know whether we get him or not, but you have to be pitching at that Luis Enrique level or something, don't you? You need to be bringing in someone.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna ship out Carrick in the summer to bring in, I don't know, whoever.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to bring in. You're gonna have to be looking at a top manager and stuff like that to bring in. You know what I mean? You can't be bringing in. I don't know. Maybe you might want to stick with Carrick. I'm not too sure. There's an indifferent conversation about that as well, isn't there? That's a difficult conversation coming up.
There's only one manager I want, and that's Jimmy Cornet.
Yeah, me and Lewis. Yeah, see Dennis Condry died the other day.
Seen that, yeah, sad.
Very sad. So.
What age was he? Good?
Yeah, Dennis Condry. I think he was 70. Can't remember now. I didn't get his age. Was he 79 or 80 or something like that? I forgot. I read it all right. And Chuck Norris as well, of course.
Yeah, poor old Chuck. Yeah,
we've lost a few in the last 12 months, haven't we?
Yeah,
lost a few. Yeah, I think the problem there, Keith, is a lot of people are going to be looking for Luis Enrique. We don't know what's going to happen with Pep. Obviously, United are going to be looking for a manager. Newcastle could potentially be looking for a manager. We're potentially looking for a manager. You know what I mean? And God knows what Chelsea are going to do.
That could be a good one for Marco Silva, Newcastle. That'd be interesting.
I think they're going to find themselves in the same position as well, where they're going to need to bring in a name that attracts in a certain ilk of player. I think if you want to make that next leap of consistency in the top 5, Champions League, all that kind of stuff, I think you need to have someone sitting in the dugout that's like that commands a certain level of respect, and also will bring you in when you're sitting across the table trying to convince a player. Because listen, Newcastle's not an easy place to go. Listen, anywhere outside London is a difficult place to go unless you're going to
yeah,
Pep.
yeah.
So it's
It's
a
gas,
difficult
isn't it?
deal to begin with. So I don't know. I think a lot of teams are going to be looking at. And listen, there's only going to be a very small pool of managers. Spurs as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They're obviously going to
shit.
be thinking maybe Poch back again, maybe after the World Cup in America. And then if you bring Poch back in, he's going to have to do an awful lot of work with that Spurs side because that
Oh, big
needs
time.
real. And I think it'll only happen if they stay up as well. And if they
Yeah,
do stay up, how many players do they need to ship out and bring in? And he's going to have
exactly.
such a short window because he's going to be playing and he's going to be focused on the World Cup for most of the summer.
Yeah.
So you ain't going to have a whole lot of time to be dealing with that either, 75, Keith said he was 75, yeah.
75 feet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There we go. Aston Villa 2, West Ham 0.
Yeah, I was expecting more from West Ham, to be honest, because I thought they might get a point from this, but particularly the way Villa have been playing, they've looked a bit tired and dogged at times, and haven't been the best. Obviously, Ollie Watkins has looked, a shadow of his former self. He's seen him in, but obviously he scored there yesterday, and you'd like to think for them, it could be just not from a United point of view, but if you're a Villa fan, you're hoping this could be, a little kick on to move up the table and stuff. But it was great to see Paul McGrath, Steve Staunton at the match yesterday, paraded at half time and stuff like that,
Yeah. Yeah, they released a Paddy's Day, didn't they, kit? And it looked
Yeah,
really
a
cool.
few weeks ago, yeah,
Cool. I
was.
think all the teams were jumping on it. Have you started watching Danny Doyer's Caravan Park yet?
No, it was good.
Man, watch it.
This
This week he set up a 5-a-side tournament and he put a pitch out.
No,
and he had one of the groundsmen from Sheffield United sorting the pitch. And Danny Dwyer was managing the staff, and he brought Harry Redknapp in to manage the residents. And it was quality, because Harry apparently used to go to the park that he bought as a kid, and his dad had a couple of caravans on the side.
Daddy. What's
good.
It on, cause?
It's on Sky One, but you'll get it where when you know.
Yeah. When you know.
Daddy Dwyer is standing in the huddle with the staff who were on his team, and who does he bring up on the phone? Jared Bowen to give them the team talk.
Because
Jared Bowen's
the son-in-law, yeah.
So it's really it's
because isn't the daughter in the program as well or something like that?
Yeah, his daughter's in it. She's doing the project with him. Yeah. Danny, she's they're too cool, but they seem so down to earth. Like it's gas, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
had
you would have loved it as well because they had them doing bingo calling and everything, teaching them how to do bingo
serious?
Calling. It's brilliant. You'll love it. You'll love it, man. Absolutely love it.
Well, I must check it out. I had
Joanne's watching it. It's hilarious, Joanne, isn't it?
Joanne, I'm gonna tune into it and have a look. I love all them programs anyway.
He did a social media video for it to promote the caravan park. And with Danny Dwyer, it's all effing and blinding and bad language.
Yeah.
So he does the video and he's effing and blinding and all, and then he releases the video and doesn't show it to the management at the caravan park. And your man goes, he's talking to your man about it, and he says to your man, he says, so what did you think? He goes, yeah, it's really good, but the only thing is we're trying to promote a family-friendly environment. And all you're doing is working and blinding on it.
Yeah, gas.
Yeah, but it's definitely well worth to watch.
I used to watch all them shows with my ma, about caravan and airlines and this, that, and the other.
Funny.
Talking to Harry Redknapp, I had a lad a gentleman in with me on Saturday, getting a few bits. Patrick Sexton is his name. He owns a few horses, and he had a horse running in Nice at the 240 in Nice yesterday. He told me to put a few quid on it each way. I didn't. When I looked at it, it was 33-1. I came third at 14-1 in the end, but I was talking to him. He's from Clare originally, living in London now, and he told me that he'd be meeting up with Harry Redknapp the whole time. And he says, because we were talking about football, the usual.
And he told me Harry's huge on the horses now, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So he told me Harry thinks Arsenal have the strongest squad in Europe. That's Harry's thoughts, apparently, according to Patrick and stuff like that.
I wonder if that was the same thoughts. I wonder if that was the same thoughts yesterday at 6:30.
Oh, very true. But Patrick is
Yeah.
an Arsenal fan, so that's what I was saying to him. He's only telling you that because that's what you want to hear, Patrick. He just likes saying that to get tips off you and all. I was
You
saying
must
to
have
him,
been
man,
buying it. Were you buying him dinner and feeding him drink at Cheltenham when he
yeah,
said this or what?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
Did you
gas.
say it? Did you say him at Cheltenham when he was asked about taking the Spurs job?
Yeah.
And he said
Did you
he'd
see
have to
who
get
was
the band back
interviewing him
together,
though?
bring all the boys in. Yeah.
Did you see who was interviewing him? I tell you what, I would have told her anything to be fair. And Danny Dwyer, he had a good time at it. He had that white noise in
Yeah.
Cheltenham as well. He held a winner in white
Yeah.
noise and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, but check that out. You'll love it. It's hilarious.
There,
It
you know,
really is
I will,
hilarious.
100%.
Right, where are we? Let's go in. Division 1 we'll start with tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I was sorry, I can't see the screen. My screen is tiny there. Yeah, Cork obviously getting a win against UCD. I think I was expecting that. Bray getting a win. Oh, sorry, Bray
Bray Drew.
drawing Drew, yeah.
Yeah,
And
like all for a thing, yeah.
and
Like
then
all for Cove.
at Lone, yeah, Cole scored late on the equalise. Over home. Yeah, no, I think Cork obviously are starting to kind of move away slightly. Bray at long be disappointed with the results of the
Treaty
weekend.
was the shock, wasn't it? Treaty was the
Yeah,
shock.
yeah, no, they be at long be very disappointed with that over the
Mm,
weekend. So, but yeah, some good fixtures coming up over the next few weeks as well. I'd expect Cork to stay comfortable enough. But yeah, you look at the likes of Bray and at Lone to just keep up with
yeah.
them and keep pressure on them. I know it's early doors, but still at this stage,
Mm, absolutely, yeah. So interested. We will keep an eye on it though, but obviously Cork and Bray up there early doors and at Lone as
Greg be
well.
happy, won't
So
he? You
yeah,
and Greg are be
absolutely.
happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure Rob won't be too upset either. Our boy Rob.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
all right.
They're doing
Brand's
all
in.
right.
Get up the lads, get inside the
Hey.
panel. The tips given Cheltenham here were brutal. Had to remortgage the gaff.
Well, Deedles gave Meet Me by the Sea.
Yeah, and you had a placing in the first race, didn't you? You gave it to me
Yeah, I had a placing in the first
on the
race. I
Tuesday. Yeah,
had another 66 to 1 second or something like that as well. So
and
had a
Lossie
few.
Mount was a banker as well, wasn't
Yeah, yeah. So we had a few, Brent. Not enough to buy
he?
you
Yeah,
around in Temple Bar, maybe in the River Bar, but not in Temple Bar. Anyway.
only separated by a bridge, yet the pricing is so different.
Yeah, that's it. Bridge over troubled water.
That's
Brent,
it.
Are
That's
you
it.
on tomorrow night? Cause with the
Now Wednesday,
Wednesday, yeah, I'll
Wednesday,
tune in for
and then
that. Now.
Thursday we're doing a watch along for the Ireland game.
The Ireland game, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There's no Thursday tier talk because there's no games.
No, yeah, yeah. No,
So
that'd be
so I
good to
think
watch along.
Darren said he thinks he's going to join me on it as well, and
Oh, nice.
Dave off the pro wrestling said he might join us as well. So anyone
And
who wants
what,
to join us could join us. Bit of crack like.
I volunteer Bran to get on in his Ireland gear on Thursday night.
Bren on Thursday, he's going to a watch along for it in the Al Foran's doing it with Roddy Collins and
Oh, wait, the Rod
who
Squad.
else? Yeah,
The Rod
yeah,
Squad.
yeah,
Eh,
yeah. So
And
there you go.
Just I know you're only after coming in there, but I said to Keith, I was with one of your mates there today in the shop. Seamus was in with me in the shop today. He was asking for you,
Mm.
and he says, what was it? He said, he told me to tell you that Cody Rose is shy.
Looking for trouble here tonight with that kind of comment. Looking for trouble here tonight.
Oh, what are you messing,
God,
Brad? You know I love you.
Jesus, to be murdered that going out there. Right,
Yeah.
Premier Division. Bohemian still up there. St. Pat's second. St. Pat's on a tear at the moment.
Yeah, like Derry be very disappointed with the result on Friday.
Coughing up the
T-
two quick goals.
two,
Yeah.
two, two. Now listen, Droghed's first goal was fantastic finish. But you look at Derry, the first half, all possession, all the chances. You know, it's it's you just thought it was 3 points, but Drogheda have been very, very good this season as well. So, 100% will. My cousin Dave was with Keith, my mate Keith, and his dad and all. They were all up there on Saturday. Great win. Particularly, it's a long way back from Galway if you've only taken a draw, if you lost, you know. Hey, hey, yup the brand.
It's amazing the difference between the pro wrestling show and the football shows. Every one of the football shows knows what a pox bottle is. Most people haven't got a clue on the wrestling show what a pox bottle is.
Don't you worry, I know, Bren. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, a great win.
Bohemians disappoint as well.
Yeah, like
Dundalk.
Listen, it's not a bad result, but you know, when you consider the run that they've been on and the points they've picked up and how they've played over the last few weeks, it is a very disappointing result. It's you still look at what they're just a point above Pats now. They would have likened to obviously be another few points ahead on them, but yeah, listen, I think they'll do all right in the next few games. I think they had Rovers there a few weeks ago. Who was it saying that they're coming up that there's a few good games coming up? I know Pats have Sligo over the Easter break and stuff like that in each car.
They're going to have, they probably have, Bows probably have a clatter of away games coming up now, don't they?
Do.
The first
I'm nearly sure they do.
Are home.
Yeah, I'm nearly sure they do. Because I know,
they're going on their travels for a few weeks, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who it was, because, yeah, no, Pats. We've done Dundalk coming up. Pats are playing Sligo. I'll have a look at it anyway. But yeah, and Rovers are a standard 2-0 win against it. Listen, a very tough Galway team who've been impressive over the last few weeks, in my view. Yeah.
I call them the league upstarts.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a good way. It's a good way of describing them. Yeah. They'll always crop up every so often and just give someone a fucking pain in the backside, basically. You know,
the fucking pox bottles.
Yeah. How do you feel it's shaping up at the moment, obviously, with the top four?
Yeah, I think, listen, from a Shell's point of view, there's, you know, ifs, buts, and maybes, we could be still up there if we hadn't drawn a few games. And I think it's
the Derry drop off is a bit surprising, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Really expected. They were one of the favourites going into the season.
Them and Rovers obviously would be the other two I'd look at and go, yeah. But I think after when Bowes bet them up there in the Brandywell, you know, Drogheda got a point off them. It isn't the fortress they thought it would be this season, like, you know, and we obviously got a result there.
9 points adrift already, 8 games.
Yeah, it is. Listen, it mightn't seem, you know, when you're this early, you mightn't see him, but you know they've a few tough games coming up, and if the likes of Pats and Bowes and ourselves and Rovers keep picking up points and leave them behind, and even you look at they'd expect to be over at Dundalk at this stage of the season as well, you know. But Dundalk have done very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting times ahead, anyway. Right, let's get a little bit of a preview going here. Obviously, we have to watch along on Thursday night. We'll be on from 7:30. I think it's a 7:45 kickoff. What you thinking?
Yeah, it's obviously fantastic. Troy and a few of the other lads sailed through the weekend without any kind of injuries. I know Troy didn't train fully today. He's only after arriving. The rest of the lads arrived in Castleknock yesterday. They've done a full training session today. They're travelling tomorrow. They're having a full training session over there on Wednesday. And then obviously the match on Thursday. So yeah, and then with Uriel May Queeving going down injured on Saturday evening, gave everyone a fright, I think. But yeah, listen, you have to be confident. You know, I said it after the Hungary game. You wish this game would have been the week after that, taking the momentum of that result into it and stuff like that. It's been a few months now, 4 months or so, and
what did you make of John O'Shea's press conference today, talking about being patient and all, and staying within the game, and you know what I mean, staying focused that kind of way and all? And
yeah, listen, Yeah, I was watching it, and in fairness, himself and Nathan were having a bit of crack there as well. They looked sit nice and relaxed and stuff. And yeah,
Mm.
you do have to be. It's the first 15-20 minutes is going to be like two boxers sussing each other out,
Mm.
and because
Fairness to
it's
Nathan, Nathan's having a good season as well. In fairness to him, so
he is 100%.
yeah.
Him and Queeveen have been excellent for Brentford, and
Mm.
don't forget that has a lot got to do with Keith Andrews as well. It really
Mm.
does. But yeah, I think the first few minutes might be cagey. Each team be sussing each other out because don't forget it's a one-off game. It's a final. To hopefully play the winners of Denmark and Macedonia next Tuesday. But listen, I'm hoping the last few games, the two games against Portugal, or the game against Portugal, and the game against Hungary, the last few games there really gave me a bit of confidence, a bit of belief that I've been kind of missing from the international scene for a while. But
We were kind of praying that it would have been November like the old days for the
yeah,
playoffs, and
exactly.
then we had to wait till
Yeah.
March. That was the only thing, But it's
Well,
come
that's
so
what I was
quick.
saying. You just want to take the momentum of that hungry game
Mm.
with you. Like, imagine if we had that hungry game on the Sunday. Imagine we played Czech on the following Thursday. Like, the place be just mental. But
Mm.
yeah, we've a few months to settle down and all. And I'd be very hopeful we can do. We've an indifferent record against them over the few years. We're doing qualifiers, and then I think there was one for I think the last game might have been a friendly in 2014 or something like that. So,
Mm.
listen, we have to be confident because
Hostile enough place to go to as well.
it will be, but we have
Uh,
to like you look at Hungary. It was fairly hostile there at the end of it, but
yeah, I think the
listen,
allocation was only 1,000 tickets as well.
just for the game tonight.
No, the Czech game on Thursday.
Or for Thursday, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
apparently
it's
that's all.
just below 1,000. I heard it was about
Yeah,
800-900 cause
yeah, yeah.
and then
Very
obviously
low, isn't it?
it is. It is. You know what they're trying to do, though. Do you know that sort of way they're
Yeah.
trying to silence us and have a bigger home section.
Mm.
But yeah, listen, you have to be confident. I think you look at the majority. A lot of our players are playing the Premier League now, which wouldn't have happened a few years ago. We had a lot of Championship players coming through and playing, but there's a lot more with Premier League experience there. And
Mm.
I think we're very dangerous from set pieces. You look at Nathan Collins, you look at Jake O'Brien, players like this. This is what.
Big man.
100%. This is where I think we should be beating them from corners, from free kicks, and then catching them on the break. The likes of balls going over to Troy Parry, that kind of Jamie Vardy-esque running off to the defender's shoulder, and yeah, hopefully they'll.
Yeah.
What was it?
Absolutely, Ted. Thoughts on the disgraceful ticket allocation and the price gouge and its
Yeah,
cost? Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Some lad was selling one ticket for 84,000. You see that?
Yeah.
Fucking
Tell
joke.
us this. In a situation like this where you have a one-off game that's a playoff game, should that not be played like in a neutral venue with a 50-50 allocation? Remember
It's
when we played? Didn't we play the Netherlands in a playoff and it was at Anfield?
Anfield, yeah, in Anfield.
You
Jack
know what I
Charles'
mean?
last ever game, yeah.
Yeah.
But then
So
obviously we
should
played.
that not be the case? Like,
Just after that they started doing it a different way because I remember was it for the 2002 World Cup we had it in Iran
yeah.
the playoff final was in there. But yeah, it's just the way they're doing it. I suppose they're listen, we have a slight advantage. Obviously, if we do win, we're at home the following Tuesday against Denmark or
Yeah, but
Macedonia.
what I mean is it's a one-off game. It's a one-shot deal. It's not like you get to play the Czech Republic the following week in the Aviva. You know what I
No,
mean?
I
So it's
no,
only a
no, I get you.
one-shot
I get
game.
you. It's
You know.
just the way they've done it with the seedings and the draws and this, that, and the other. They changed it a good few
But I
years
see.
ago there.
I think once they get to the playoff stage, I think all that should go out
It
the
should be,
ball,
yeah, no,
out
it
the
should, it
window.
should be, like you just said, you should have a 50-50 on attendance. Obviously,
Mm.
usually 1,000 or two tickets are corporate and sponsors and all that type of
I
thing.
just
But
think. First of all, you're heading over there, so you're away. First of all, then after that, then you've got less than 1,000 allocation. So
yeah,
like you're really kind of handicapped somewhat before you even kick off. Like,
yeah, and
you
then
know.
and then even for the game next Tuesday, apparently Denmark and Macedonia, if it now obviously because if we lose, it becomes a friendly. But both
Yeah.
teams have only put in for 700 tickets. Um, they've only put in for 700 tickets, and that's why the FAI are thinking about moving them to the top of the West Stand and having the home fans in the stand behind the goal.
Oh yeah, so have it do what they do in St. James's, where you're up in the clouds in the far corner.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're. Yeah, that's exactly what they're. I think they're trying to get them at the top of the West Stand there. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
I think it's fine to be wherever, but I think the ticket allocation should be 50-50. Yeah, I know that, but I just think if it's a one-off playoff game and not a two-legged game, I think it should be on a neutral ground with a potential take-up of a 50-50 allocation or something like that. I don't think any team should go into a one-off playoff game to get to a playoff final.
Yeah.
Being handicapped before you even kick off, So
you could have had the game in somewhere like Paris or something like that, and like you said, 50-50. But listen, don't get. The fans that are going to be there, the Irish fans will be making enough noise, hopefully, anyway. You know what we're like when we travel.
Dylan Thompson and all the boys are heading over. They didn't get tickets now, but they're heading over to brag for the 4 days.
Few of the lads that work in Exit across from us, they do come in and get their stuff off us. There's 6 of them going over, and they don't have tickets, but they have a fan zone set up over there in the town, so they're all going there, in the square there. So they're all going over there. So it'd be some atmosphere around the place, because it'd be something else,
Hopefully it's fairly safe as well, and there's no trouble.
Please God, 100%.
You know yourself, if Ireland do end up winning, there won't be a great feeling around the place, you know what I mean? And if you're there for 3 or 4 days, it's probably the last place you want to be.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens. Yeah, so hopefully the boys in green can get through, obviously. And then, of course, back to the Aviva then, and hopefully they're Denmark or North Macedonia. Yeah, but what a feeling it would be, and what an uplift for the country if we were to qualify. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And join us Thursday, 7:30. We'll be bringing you the watch along for Czechia versus Ireland.
Ted, you should jump onto that as well, Ted.
Whoever wants to jump on can jump on. It's no problem, so long as we can sync up all our RTEs.
Oh yes, that's it.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Yeah, whoever. Dave said he might be coming on as well, and I think Darren's going to come on. Darren said he mightn't be on straight away, but he'll be on at some stage. So.
And Brent, I nominated Brent to come on as well, and Keith get on as well.
Whoever wants to go. Are you off for it?
I'm working till 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna watch the first few minutes in the shop and close up, and it's gonna be dead anyway. It's gonna be dead anyway. But then I'll get home for the second half then.
Well, you've Rasmus, haven't you? And Ericsson doesn't play anymore? He's retired, is he?
He's retired, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who else is in.
You got Michael Laudrup, Brian Laudrup, Peter Schmeichel. Casper. Well, he's injured now. He's going to be out for a long time. Yeah. His shoulder. He's going to be out for a good long time. I seen his interview. He was almost in tears talking about it.
That move away from the Prem wasn't a move for him. Sure, it wasn't.
No, but like
it was badly advised, wasn't he?
He's kind of he reinvented himself slightly, going to Celtic and stuff like that. But going to France when he did, he should have stayed in the Premier League, and there would have been teams that would have taken him as well.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to jump on, just let me know, folks. If you want to jump on, we can make it either a therapy session or a party, whatever way we want to do it. Anyone who wants the link, just hit me up. Let me know. The link is there. It's all set up and all. If anyone,
I look forward to seeing you on it, Ted.
You're more than welcome, Ted. You're more than welcome, Ted. More than welcome. Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the job done. That's the main
thing. Definitely, 100%.
But that's it, folks. Another show. We won't be back with the mashup now for 2 weeks. I think it is.
So that means I won't be late next week.
unless you want to come on next week. Unless you want to come on next week and we do a preview for the Masters golf or something like that. Ben was at the darts the other night.
Was he?
He says the beer was flying. He says every time Littler hit a big checkout, there was just beer. People were even drowned it.
Jesus Christ.
One of the lads came in from Cork. Shout out to David O'Brien. He came in from Cork. He's a long time customer in the shop and friend and stuff. And he came in. He says I came up to watch the darts and I got soaked in beer. And he says I can't believe the price of beer up here and people are throwing it around.
yeah.
And I said to him, mess, and I said, did you smell it? You sure it was beer?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You wouldn't
I
know
said, I
that
might
in the
know a name,
town.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
The, no, you
Big up, Will.
will.
See you,
And
lads. Cracking show.
by the
Appreciate it.
way, can I just say congratulations to Will as well? He passed his
Oh.
fitness exam for a certain career.
Oh.
Yeah. Down in a place called Templemore. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Oh.
it. So
Oh. Wow.
congratulations to Will.
Congratulations, Will. Might be down
Yeah.
there with a friend of ours. Ben has a friend down there at the moment, Killian. Killian training
Daily.
to be a guard as well, yeah. Look out for a lad called Killian
Oh,
from Greystones. Yeah, there we go.
daily.
Outside of football, you lads up to date on Afro Man versus the police.
I was going to Google it, but then I got high.
There we
Sorry,
go.
Tel. I had to get that in. Sorry, Tel.
There we go. No, we're not up to date on it at all.
Do you remember that song though? That was a catchy motherfucking song.
Yeah.
I think I might have that on a ringtone on my Nokia back in the day. Do you remember when MTV used to have the ads for the
Motorola Razr Flip?
Yeah. Fucking gas, brilliant.
Best of luck with it, Detective Will.
Well done, Will. Don't forget, you're not allowed to use those handcuffs on all them women that you have.
And you know, the beauty of it now, Will, they're all going around in blue slacks and polo shorts and high vises and all, so you don't even have to go into the market and get a navy suit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You're all
sorted. You're right, wearing
Will.
caps and everything.
Lads, look it up, see he's wearing, it's insanely funny.
I must have a look at it, Ted.
100%. We'll definitely check it out, We'll check it out. Right, folks, chat to you Wednesday for Pro Wrestling Weekly. Make sure you check it out, all the shorts and videos that are going up and all, including Keith did a video today on Undertaker's greatest WrestleMania matches. Make sure you check that out. I've been lashing the shorts up as well. And not the whiskies, but the shorts on the video on the YouTube channel. So until next time, folks, hit the like, share, and subscribe button, all that kind of good stuff. We'll be back on Wednesday with a bit of wrestling, and then we'll be back on Thursday to see if Ireland can complete one half of the miracle. The miracle. Who needs Saipan when we have the Czech Republic? Let's see what happens. Until next time, folks, have a great week. Talk to you soon.